Zoro versus Sanji. Black Leg versus the Free Sword Style. Vinsmoke versus Roronoa. Actually, Roronoa is his first name. Two amazing men, true warriors of the Straw Hat Crew. And today we are answering the age-old question: who wins in a fight? And not just that, who is the better right-hand man for Luffy? This is probably the most controversial topic in One Piece. Weebs have been fighting over this question for decades, and some have even lost their lives. But I'm here to settle the debate, and it's finally about time that someone answers truly who would win in a fight, and who is the better right-hand man between Zoro and Sanji. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off with who would win in a fight. Let's begin with strength. Anyway, I don't think this is a debate when it comes to strength. Using Enma, Zoro was able to cut off a whole cliffside. And even if we were to remove Enma, Zoro does strength training every single day consistently while increasing his workout difficulty, as we have seen over time in One Piece. However, Sanji's power isn't something to be scoffed at. This man was kicking Queen around like he was a ragdoll. Bear in mind that Queen is a cyborg, and he is kicking this strong, heavy metal, making it go flying around in circles to the extent that that Queen was flying. He turned into a helicopter. That's how strong Sanji is. So don't get me twisted. Sanji is strong as well. And talking about Sanji's feat, that leads me to his speed. Let's be honest, Sanji's speed is unmatched. This guy is able to dodge laser beams. Like, name me many other people in One Piece that can dodge a laser beam. Bear in mind, the laser beams shoot at the speed of light. And don't get me wrong, Zoro is quick, but he's no way near the level of Sanji, especially when Sanji's wearing his Germa 66 suit. And along with Sanji's speed comes his stamina. His training on Ivankov's island, where he had to run for dear life so that he didn't lose his virginity to a trans person, increased not only his speed but his stamina considerably. Non-stop running of that for 2 years would increase anyone's speed and stamina. However, when it comes to durability, this is where Zoro shines. If you remember in Terra, where Zoro took all of Luffy's pain, which should have been enough pain to kill him, Zoro, as the man he is, stood there as if nothing happened. You see what I did there? Nothing happened. Sanji, yeah, he's strong. He has some durability. Like, he can take a beating, but he almost got killed by one hit from King. He said it himself. If he wasn't wearing his Germa 66 suit, his body would have been split in half. So there's just no comparison. Let's move on to Haki. In terms of Haki, I feel like it's a draw. Zoro excels in armament Haki. Sanji excels in observation Haki. It kind of just balances out. They both have a decent amount of Haki. In the future, if the fairies are true, we might see some Conqueror's Haki. But until that happens, it's fair game. Okay, this leads us to the next categories: intelligence and strategy. So we all know that Zoro isn't the brightest person in the Straw Hat Crew. Sanji definitely has an edge. He thinks of the bigger picture, and when he is in combat, he's not just thinking about the fight itself. He is, but he's also thinking about his crew. He thinks about the bigger picture. He thinks about strategy. Whereas Zoro just wants to fight who he wants to fight. Kind of like Luffy, I guess. And that's why we like him. But that kind of gives the point to Sanji. However, when it comes to battle IQ, Zoro is miles ahead. So as we know, Zoro's been fighting since he was a child. He's been sparring, he's been training like a madman, and he's been bounty hunting since he was a child. Whereas Sanji, he's been chefing it up in the kitchen. He's been being trained by Zeph and fighting unruly customers, but that's nothing in comparison to the bounties that Zoro has been taking, the experience that he's been getting in different terrains, different areas, different islands. The experience from day one is Zoro's just way ahead, and that helps him win his fights and fight against stronger opponents than Sanji. Warning: Kaido spoiler. I don't want Zoro to be underestimated, because he, when fighting Kaido, was the first person out of all of the worst generation that were fighting Kaido to force him to dodge. Otherwise, Kaido was just taking the hits like it was nothing. Zoro forced Kaido to dodge, and not only did he force Kaido to dodge, when he did hit Kaido, he managed to cut him, which shows that he's possibly on the level of Oden, or reaching the level of Oden. So that shows the battle experience, the power that Zoro has should not be underestimated. And the final thing that puts Zoro above Sanji in a fight between them is that Zoro is subscribed to Anime Dropbox. And if you want to be as cool as Zoro and help Anime Dropbox reach the Grand Line, then you should subscribe now. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers. We'll make it into the Grand Line. But yeah, Zoro does win though. Zoro wins in a fight. But that's not all that matters when it comes to who would be a more fit right-hand man for Luffy. Secondly, we're gonna answer who is better for the crew. Now, we all know Zoro does care for the crew. We've all seen the cute moments between Zoro and Chopper. However, Zoro has his own goals. He wants to be the strongest swordsman and he wants to help Luffy become the pirate king. So you're probably thinking, oh, Terra! If he wants to make Luffy the pirate king, then why isn't he the best second-hand man? Well, there's a reason for that. Because it takes us back to the narrow-minded thought process of Zoro. Luffy and Zoro, they see a goal and they just go straight for it, which is what we love about the two. But it does cause a lot of consequences. The way I see Zoro and Luffy is that if they have 100 obstacles in front of them, they don't go above or below them. They'll go straight through them. And that's why we love Zoro and Luffy. Their personality is just entertaining. But the problems that come with that is Zoro's lost half the time and Luffy's almost dying against most main antagonists. We've seen it with Crocodile, we've seen it with Kaido, we've probably seen it many other times as well where he's almost died and had to come back to fight again. There needs to be a big brains behind the operation, and who better than Sanji? I'll give a big example where this has come into play. In Alabasta, when Luffy and the whole crew was trapped in a cell, including Zoro, was trapped in a cell, they fell for Crocodile's trap. Who came to save the day? Sanji! And who protected the crew when Doflamingo was attacking the crew and Luffy and Zoro weren't there? Sanji! You can even argue when Chopper was in trouble fighting against King, Queen and Perospero, and obviously he had some help from Marco, and Zoro was out cold. Who came to help? Sanji! He gave enough time for Zoro to get back up, for Marco to even get back up as well to recover, and he's just come and helped in so many situations where the crew was down and out. It's unbelievable. Sanji has protected the crew so many times, it's like he's the shield of the Straw Hats. So you see, since Sanji is the shield of the Straw Hats, I had no option but to declare that unequivocally no one is a better match for the right hand man, for the crew, than Zoro. You see, like, the shield is normally held on the alternate hand, which is the left hand man, and Zoro is the sword of the Straw Hats, which is held in the right hand. So technically Zoro is the right hand man, he's the sword of the Straw Hats. It's not like Luffy will listen to anyone anyway, so what's the point of strategy? The end. Watch this video next. If you've made it this far, you enjoy my content, you've definitely liked the video and subscribed to join the ADB crew.